New research at Trinity College Dublin has identified for the first time why some sports injuries result in chronic brain damage in retired athletes. It has revealed that a leaky blood-brain barrier drives chronic brain damage in athletes like rugby players and boxers.
Collision sports like rugby and combat sports like boxing are exciting, but they can also carry long-term health risks, in particular brain injuries. A former Irish rugby team doctor and now advocate for retired rugby players said the physicality of the modern game has added to the risks.
Certainly the lifespan of the players must be looked at very carefully, but probably the biggest challenge for the sport is the fact that head contact needs to be minimised.
New research published today by teams from Trinity College Dublin has identified for the first time the mechanism linking some sports injuries to poor brain health in retired athletes. It reveals that a breakdown in the blood-brain barrier, which normally acts as a security gate, can cause chronic brain damage.
The blood-brain barrier is simply the term we use for the properties that small blood vessels in the brain have. And those properties are that they tightly regulate what gets into the brain and out of the brain on a daily basis. What we discovered for the first time ever was that individuals who had a very, very long playing career in combat or collision sports had a leaky blood-brain barrier. And for the first time ever, we were actually able to measure that using very, very complex MRI scans.
This study will generate interest worldwide for those involved in the relevant sports, for doctors and the governing bodies. And the researchers here at Trinity College Dublin say it has the potential to herald a new chapter in sports medicine. Doctors say that specific MRI scans can now identify athletes at the highest risk and that future drugs might permanently seal blood-brain barrier leaks.
We use a very specific type of MRI with a contrast enhancement and using a computer algorithm to detect blood-brain barrier damage. And I think that can be very useful and has the potential to be an early warning sign of potential problems in the future.
The study was also led by the Future Neuro Research Ireland Centre and published today in the international journal Science Translational Medicine. Fergal Bowers, RTE News.
Now, sports injuries can ruin a season or even end a career, but some traumas can result in chronic brain damage in retired athletes. Professor Matthew Campbell from Trinity College Dublin has been researching why, and he joins us now. Thank you for coming in to speak to us on 6-1 this evening. There are lots of sports where people's heads may get injured. They use them for heading a football, perhaps in a boxing ring or in a scrum for rugby. What do we know about the type of damage that can be caused?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on. We do know that trauma to the brain can lead to dementia. And in the context of sport, some of the best evidence we have is from the field of boxing. So we know in ex-professional boxers, for instance, about 20% of people who've engaged in professional boxing will go on to develop a form of dementia we know of as chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. So it's trauma-associated dementia. So in general, the field, we've known for quite some time that brain trauma can, in some individuals, lead towards dementia. Different types of dementia, but in the context of sports, chronic traumatic encephalopathy seems to be the type of dementia that we see more often.
OK, so your research has found that some retired athletes have poor brain health. What does that mean? And did you look at other conditions?
Yeah, so we started a study about 4 years ago that really was focused on trying to recruit retired athletes who'd engaged in collision and combat sports, so boxing, mixed martial arts, rugby. And we kind of asked the question, what does their cognitive performance look like? So we did a series of tests, cognitive performances, to see, what their memory was like, short-term memory, long-term memory. And we also then decided to do MRI scans where we looked at the integrity of blood vessels in their brain to see, could we see correlations between those individuals who had poor cognitive health and a signal that we developed on the MRI scans where we looked at leaky blood vessels in the brain. And we saw a very, very strong correlation between those individuals who had leaky blood vessels in their brain and those who performed very poorly on these cognitive tests. So for the first time ever, actually, we have a signal now, a signal that may predict the onset of chronic traumatic encephalopathy in life. Because up to now, it's only been a post-mortem diagnosis, unfortunately.
So you were able to see the blood-brain barrier,
yes,
and you could tell that it was leaky.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, and can it be reversed?
So it's a really good question. The blood-brain barrier basically is the term that we used for the properties that the blood vessels in the brain have. And the blood vessels in your brain have really, really distinct properties that they tightly regulate what gets into and out of the brain on a daily basis. So you don't want to have a disrupted blood-brain barrier. But to your point, We do have drugs potentially on the market and drugs in development that could restore the integrity of the barrier. So this is not a deterministic thing that if you have cognitive decline associated with brain trauma, it doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to go down this route towards full-blown dementia. That in the future, based on our data, that we may potentially have therapeutic options for these participants. So it's a really exciting day for Irish science and Irish medicine as well.
And is it possible for you to say what type of athletes are most at risk? I know you spoke to specific athletes, but could it be broader?
So I would think, games that involve repetitive head trauma, the less repetitive head trauma, the better in my point of view, and my colleagues in St James's Hospital as well. It's a modifiable risk factor for dementia. There's lots of different modifiable risk factors for dementia, and exposure to brain trauma is one of those. So the less brain trauma, the better. So sports that involve repetitive head trauma, sports like boxing, sports like MMA, sports like rugby, these are really, really important sports for the brain health. Brain health is so important. Participating in sports is so important, especially for the young individuals, But really, I think the focus should be on decreasing the exposure to repetitive head trauma, and that's what our message will be, and that's a message that we'll try to work with government towards delivering on.
So does this prompt further research then? What can be done now?
Yeah, so there's multiple angles of the research that we're going to follow up on. We want to expand our cohort. So this was a small cohort. We have to put our hands up and admit this was a small number of individuals, 47 retired athletes. We need to expand that, so turn that 47 into 470. We also need to look at the female brain. So we don't really know what's happening in the context of the female brain with head trauma-associated dementia. The majority of participants in our study were men. That's probably a manifestation of the elite level sports, boxing and rugby, that they only became professional in the female context in recent years. So we don't have individuals old enough yet. But really another focus then is therapy. We want to look at developing therapeutic approaches to treating trauma-associated dementia. So really, really exciting things on the horizon.
All right, Professor Matthew Campbell, Professor of Neurovascular Genetics at Trinity College Dublin, thank you for coming in to speak to us.